This is TW Wrestling Talk here. We are now just a few days from WrestleMania. Um, a 5 day countdown as I do this edition of TW Wrestling Talk. Um, and I can't help but say that WWE has dropped the ball this year on the build up to WrestleMania. And there's many right off the bat that would agree with me, and I don't, quite frankly, I don't see how you can't agree that the build up to this year's WrestleMania has just kind of not succeeded whatsoever. Now, and the thing is, they expect us, they expect people to this year who are gonna buy the pay per view to shell out $70 on it, and I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, this edition of TW Wrestling Talk, we're gonna go through the what appears to be the WrestleMania card, and I say appears to be because it seems there's even 5 days away. There's some indefinicies, if that's a word. I don't know if it is. There's some indefinite aspects to the card. It appears. Um, but this before I get to the card, this past Monday on Raw, the last Monday Night Raw, before WrestleMania, and it's supposed to be, you know, a bit, a pretty big, big episode of Raw, and I don't quite think, I think it was quite disappointing to me. Um, they're kind of all over the place, as they have all these matches they have to, you know, build up, but even in this 3 hour Raw, they still they couldn't get the job done, for the most part, on all fronts, in my opinion, at least with the big matches. Um, Now the ending with the Undertaker and CM Punk, and that was decent, I'd say. They'd CM Punk disguise. They had this sudden, like, sort of seance in a sense. Um, with the Undertaker standing in the ring, and then Paul Heyman dressed up as Paul Bearer, and Undertaker going to attack him on the ramp, and CM Punk being disguised as one of the torch holders, and that was an interesting ending. Um, I guess I'd say, I found it ironic that they closed the show rather than Cena and The Rock doing a promo, which you know brings me to that. They dropped the ball here too. I mean, I've been on record talking about how they've dropped the ball with this build up, how it's been a failure, and this night to me was kind of no different. Um, I was shocked that they didn't have a promo together. Now, the opening promo with Cena alone, I could understand, that being a Cena promo on his own there, considering, at that point they still had, you know, another 2 hours and 50 minutes left on the show. Um, but I was surprised that when The Rock did a promo, which was only about 5 minutes long, there was no interruption from Cena. So I found that ironic. But as far as the content of this promo, it's uh, these promos. Cena's was it was just kind of bogus to me. It was the same. He was basically repeating himself. There was nothing really new here. And what I was most bugged about was how last week on Raw, the show closed with him getting rock bottomed as they kind of, get in each other's face. The show ended with him getting rock bottomed after that big Q&A session at the end. Um, and and what happens? Well, John Cena comes out to the ring like he would any other time. Um, and he doesn't address it at all. To me that should be the center of attention there. Not the same old repetitive bull crap that we've heard for the past several weeks for the most part. Now last week with you know the whole Q&A thing in Philadelphia, my neck of the woods, there was a different tone to it, a different feeling to that. So I kind of make an exception there. With the whole Cena thing last week and Rock, there definitely a different tone there. I mean, you had Donovan McNabb getting talked about, for instance, and just things like that. Um, there's given that it was a different setting, a different with the Q&A thing, legends there. That provided some different atmosphere and a different content as a result. But this Cena promo here was to me a joke, and he's further. It seems like he's teasing this heel turn and whatnot, but there's just like nothing new to this promo whatsoever, and it was a shame. Um, and it was just kind of the same old, Cena bogus, and then he wants to bring up how they're in Washington D.C. Like he kind of brings up with every town that they go to every night on Raw, every time he's on the mic, and I mean he says how that he brings up politics like Republican and Democratic parties, and then he wants to try to make rock fans into rock publicans and Cenocrats and do this whole political party thing. And I gotta give him one of those for that. And WWE for that. I mean, this country of America already has enough division over this, bullcrap political party, nonsense that just only divides the nation, especially during elections. I'm not gonna go into a political rant here, but because quite frankly, I don't believe in politics. I don't believe in this Republican versus Democrat thing. Let's all come together as a nation, and vote for the better guys, not for what party they are, not work against each other, and all that nonsense. But anyhow, I mean, so this was a dumb move here, dumb theme to kind of dumb analogy to by WWE's part. And I mean, overall, I mean, Cena showed some emotion and showed this potential heel character, but in the end, it was, just one of those, you know, repetitive promos from Cena, and it just wasn't anything worthwhile to me. And then later on, The Rock came out and did his promo, which was, ironically, it was only like 5 minutes long, as far as him talking goes. And ironically, he was not interrupted by Cena. I was waiting for, especially during the ending, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, I was waiting for Cena to come out during that, and ironically, he never did. Especially given that the promo was only had only been 5 minutes long up to that point. I would have thought there'd be a Cena interruption there, but there wasn't. And again, here it was just kind of The Rock repeating. It was just Cena and Rock repeating themselves tonight. It was. I mean, I don't understand. They really, WWE really dropped the ball with this here, and unless they do one of the two things I was talking about last week, have Cena turn heel out of this at WrestleMania, you know, or The Rock pulls up an ironic win, um, then or even both if that happened. I mean that would save this from being a failure. Um, and of course, there's always the possibility of Rock versus Cena 3. I could always see that if The Rock loses, him wanting a rematch, best of three, and maybe The Rock would win that. I don't know. Um, especially if Cena would turn heel, that would definitely set something like that up. Um, but and I also didn't like how Cena was said Cena does the impossible. He shocks the world and beats The Rock at WrestleMania. And Really? John Cena's gonna shock the world at WrestleMania? The guy's odds of winning are like 99% in his favor. I mean, I mean, it only makes sense with The Rock going back to focusing more on movies. You know, but yeah, you think you expect us to believe that this is the unthinkable that John Cena will be doing at WrestleMania? I mean, come on, that's chances of John Cena losing this match at WrestleMania is probably chance of me watching, tuning into an episode of American Idol. It's certainly not anything for me. Um, so that was kind of a disappointment. Triple H and Brock Lesnar. I mean, they had Shawn Michaels come out, and that was all fine and dandy, but nothing too great here. And I mean, it's I thought I heard how I was thinking how wouldn't it be sweet if like Shawn Michaels made a surprise appearance at WrestleMania and helped Triple H get his win back. Consider getting revenge on Brock Lesnar at the same time, killing two birds with one stone. But now WWE always has to announce these things. They always have to announce the big names and ahead of time being at WrestleMania to draw people in. As they expect $70 for each pay-per-view buy. So, that's sometimes in that regard, it kind of it detracts a little bit, I think, from what they can possibly do with these pay-per-views. So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, there was nothing, I mean, too too extensive or too great for any of the build ups of any of these matches at WrestleMania. Um, and now as I move along here, I'm you know just short thoughts, I guess, on this WrestleMania card. Um, Now this is off currently Wikipedia, so I mean how it is, but um, it's Wade the pre-show. Wade Barrett versus The Miz. First of all, I'm tired of this pre-show crap. Just put it in the pay-per-view. I don't the pay-per-view normally ends like 20 minutes before it's supposed to anyways, and with all this the all the filler stuff they like to do in between um promoting promoting Tout and everything. I can't believe what they did with Tout. How they pushed Tout and how they had to film a Tout of Jerry Lawler on Raw last night, making his prediction for the Rock and Cena match. And I'm thinking, dude, we already got a camera on him right now. We can hear him. We don't need a for Jerry Lawler to play beat the clock. And with the whole tout thing, we got him on camera, live on Raw. It's all right. We don't need a tout thing. So that's my thought on that. Um, as it came up. So the you got the Wade Barrett against the Miz, um, and you know in a single soundbite, my thought on this, and it's simple. And for those who have listened to my show consistently, late last year, around the turn of the new year, which seemed like yesterday, did not seem like 90 some days ago. Um, I'm on record saying that in the year 2013, I would like to see Wade Barrett be used, pushed to a higher level. Miz was another guy. Um, with Miz, of course, in his new character, and ironically, both of these two guys that I wanted to see get elevated are are facing each other for the Intercontinental Championship at a level I think WWE should be above. Should have tried to have gotten these guys above by this point. So in my thought process here, WWE is behind the eight ball on these guys, and to that's just not good to me. Um, that's it's we're missing out on what could be a main event Miz and main event Wade Barrett, but we got mid card Wade Barrett and mid card Miz at this point. So that's that. Um, Now we got now they're calling themselves Tons of Funk, and I whatever Brodus Clay and Tensei. To me, something that would be more accurate to call 'em would be Tons of Reasons to Change the Channel. I had to, I mean, it, whatever, whatever they, whatever they want to call them. The bottom line is this: them and the Funkadactyls. Oh my God. Um, versus Team Rhodes Scholars and the Bella Twins. I am very disappointed in the making of this match because it appeared they were going the direction of having the Rhodes Scholars beat Team Hell No at WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure they were. They were having the whole dissension of Kane and Daniel Bryan. They were going to have them. It appeared. Now it seems they're going to keep them together longer, which I didn't have a problem with that. But it would have at least been nice to see the Rhodes Scholars face them at WrestleMania, because they don't deserve to be. I mean, this is a slap to the face to them. They should be the next tag team champions, and whether they would have done that at WrestleMania, that's fine. Whether they would do it in a few months from now, hopefully they do. I'm trusting WWE to do that, but this is a slap to the face that they're facing Tons of Funk in this mixed tag team match. I don't care if they had them hook up with the Bella Twins, if this is how they want to have them return, whatever. It doesn't make a good, it doesn't help the card any bit. It only detracts from it. Cody Rhodes and Sandow are much more suited, I think, in the pursuit for the tag team championships. And here, for Big E Langston's debut match at WrestleMania, they throw them together with Dolph Ziggler. Oh, let's just throw them together and make them go for the tag team championships. Um, that's to me that's bogus. Um, Especially since it just seems like they're just finding a reason, just finding a way to use them without any thought. With Dolph Ziggler still being the holder of the Money in the Bank briefcase, having not used it yet, even though he could have used it about 20 times by now, several months ago. It's just here we have him, in what's to me a kind of a pointless tag team match. Um, well, pointless. I don't see them winning the tag team championships. Especially with them having Dolph Ziggler perhaps cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania. So, I just, again, Rhodes Scholars deserve that match more than them just throwing Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston together. It'd just be more appropriate. I mean, obviously, Dolph Ziggler's going, he's supposed to be getting up to that big echelon, and unfortunately, to me, he's not getting there, and he might have less of a chance of really being a great main eventer as long as he's with AJ Lee and Biggie Langston, and it's just not working. It hasn't been working, and this match just to me doesn't. This Team Hell No versus Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston, I'm just not feeling this, and especially since again Ziggler's bound to cash in soon, so his focus is bound, World Heavyweight Championship bound. So that's that. Um, Chris Jericho against Fandango. Now, it, everyone people are saying how you know this is out of the blue, and Big Show, or I mean Chris Jericho. People are saying how well obviously he wanted to work with Fandango. This is what he wanted to do, and that's great that he wants to you know help elevate new guys, but but come on, this, you know, he goes from facing CM Punk at last year's WrestleMania to Fandango, and I'm sick of this guy. I was sick of him probably the first night he came out, and it's not like I have anything against him as a person or anything, but this is like just a way. This has flop written all over it. This whole gimmick. This has toilet flush written all over it. I'm talking, major toilet flush, and I mean, this is just stupid. What were they? I mean, this whole gimmick is crap. It's a gimmick that has flop written all over it, and can't be taken seriously written all over it, and him to face Chris Jericho, it's like a big step down for Chris Jericho, and it's like a big over push too soon that wasn't really earned um, by Fandango, and it's this is silly. You know I, this is one of those things that sometimes it is it makes me almost feel embarrassed to believe that these people know what they're doing. They know what they're doing with this WrestleMania card. This is an example of that, and he's not over yet. That's he in this character he isn't wrestle. And what makes us think that he deserves a match like this in the first place? And he could perform very well, but it could be a great match, but still, it just is awkward, and it's a character that I can't take very seriously, like the Brodus Clay character. So that's that. He can be one of the greatest technicians ever, but if this is the character he's coming out as, I'm sorry, it's just not gonna fly with me, and it's probably not gonna fly with many other people. Um, Now, all the other matches, these are some new matches that I just touched on. Um, More recently added matches. Um, the other match is Brock Lesnar versus Triple H. Um, I've touched on enough, I think. You know, Shield versus Randy Orton, Big Show, Sheamus. I touched on that, I think, enough. See a Randy Orton heel turn there at WrestleMania. I've explained. If you didn't check it out, I would check out my SmackDown spoilers slash review of last week's SmackDown. When they were in Hershey, PA, I was there live to see it. I had some important thoughts there that observations and how if you didn't check it out, I would encourage you to check it out. Instead of rehashing what I said, um, you know, just just suggest you check out some of those more recent videos that I posted in the past couple weeks regarding that match, regarding the Undertaker versus CM Punk, Rock and Cena. If you've been listening to me, um, you know my thoughts on that. I can't. There's nothing more I can say on that along with these other matches, other than I cross my fingers that it's not too predictable, and I've explained the element of utter predictability and how it takes away from a match, even if it can be very technically great, or whatever. If there can be great spots, and it's great, but with that element of predictability in there, it takes from the match. Um, and to me, that's what's going to take from this Rock and Cena match. That's what's is probably also going to take away from this Brock Lesnar and Triple H match. No holds barred. Um, you know, kind of take away from this Undertaker CM Punk match, I would say as well. Um, at least you have the Shield, a match like the Shield, Sheamus and Randy Orton and Big Show. At least there you don't know what's gonna happen exactly. You don't know who's gonna win, and that makes it interesting. there's the question of, does Randy Orton turn on Big Show and Sheamus? Stuff like that. Ryback and Mark Henry. This is good opportunity for Ryback to um look impressive against a big guy in Mark Henry, a guy who's supposed to be stronger than. I mean, they call for Christ's sake, they call him the world's strongest man. So you know that's that. And I mean, I mean, this WrestleMania is, it's just kind of, I don't know. I'm not totally feeling it, and I'm also not seeing uh the Tamina and Caitlyn match on this card. I'm not sure why. I thought they were supposed to face each other um, for the Divas Championship, but I'm not seeing it on here. And if they don't have that match, to me that's a shame. To me, like I said before, that would be a good opportunity to, with two good wrestling divas, not just eye candy divas, but divas that can wrestle. It'd be a good opportunity for them to really go above and beyond in a divas match for a change, and you know perhaps make the divas division a bigger deal as a result, and up the standards for it, and not just always have these quick 2 to 3 minute matches with divas, and that end you know easily and all that. But yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, we'll see what WWE does here with WrestleMania. We'll see how they do. I think they relied a little too much on big names this year, and you know rematches, and you know kind of kind of trying to throw some sugar on top of, sugarcoat a bunch of this stuff. And to me, it's just, I don't quite think it's gonna be that great. So we'll just have to wait and see, I guess, how it turns out. um these I mean, I'll just